Hello dear listeners. Welcome to your channel. This is the summary of the introduction for Sabbath school lessons for the fourth quarter of the year 2025. The author of this quarter lesson is Barna Magurossi. He currently serves as the Executive Secretary of the Inter-European Division and Chair of the Biblical Research Committee of the Division. He began his service for the Church as a pastor and department director in the South Transylvania Conference, Romania, and continued as a theology teacher and president of Adventist University, Romania. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up icon to support our mission of teaching the Bible around the world. The title of this quarter is the Book of Joshua. Dear listeners, the Book of Joshua stands at a pivotal moment in Israel's history. It records the great transition of leadership from Moses, the towering figure who led Israel out of Egypt, to Joshua, his successor. While Moses had brought the people out of slavery and guided them through the wilderness, Joshua was entrusted with the immense responsibility of leading the next generation into the long-awaited Promised Land. This shift marks not only a change in leadership but also the fulfillment of God's covenant promises made generations earlier. Joshua faced an enormous challenge. He was stepping into the shoes of Moses, a prophet uniquely close to God. Yet his task was not to repeat Moses' work but to finish what Moses could not, to bring the people across the Jordan River and settle them in Canaan. God's words to Joshua made it clear that success would not depend on Joshua's abilities alone. The promise was grounded in divine initiative, the land which I, the Lord, am giving to them. This was not Israel's achievement, but God's gift, realized only through His power and their trust in Him. The backdrop of this moment is Israel's long wilderness journey. Because of their disobedience, the first generation that left Egypt had experienced the painful consequences of breaking the covenant. They wandered for 40 years and ultimately died in the desert, with the exceptions of Caleb and Joshua. The new generation, however, stood ready. With fresh opportunity and divine assurance, they were now prepared to claim the inheritance promised to their ancestors. Moses had publicly encouraged Joshua, reminding him to be strong and courageous, assuring him that God Himself would go before His people and never abandon them. The introduction emphasizes that the story of Joshua is not simply about military conquest or land distribution. Its deeper message is about God's faithfulness. The book portrays how the Lord fulfilled His covenant promise to Abraham by giving Israel the land. This central theme, the reliability of God's word, runs throughout the narrative. As Joshua 21 verses 43 to 45 highlights, every promise God had made came true. The people's success depended on their trust in Him, not in their own strength. Though the events of Joshua occurred over 3,000 years ago, the introduction points out that the spiritual challenges remain surprisingly relevant today. Just as Israel faced obstacles, uncertainties, and temptations in their mission, God's people now face spiritual dangers that threaten faith, security, and the accomplishment of His work. Joshua's story is therefore not only a historical record but also an enduring testimony of courage, faith, and reliance on God. Finally, the introduction situates the purpose of the book clearly. It explains how Israel entered, conquered, and divided the land of promise. More importantly, it underscores that these events serve as a demonstration of God's covenant faithfulness. For modern readers, the story of Joshua is both an inspiration and a call to trust in God's promises for our own lives. Just as Joshua's leadership and faith helped Israel succeed in their mission, so too can God's people today move forward with confidence in His power and guidance. God bless you.